Hey guys, hello and welcome to Algorithm. Today I just want to show you if you find like one vulnerability in one endpoint doesn't mean that other vulnerabilities can be found in it. So today I want to show you how to like look for some other vulnerabilities inside one endpoint. Because some people may think that if you find just like an XSS on one endpoint, you can't find other vulnerabilities, which is not true. So to start us off, I'm going to I'm going to create um, a folder. So I'll cd into my documents folder. So don't worry about the change in terminal. I'm sorry that I haven't been posting for a while, but I'm back now. Hopefully, we are going to do something good. Hopefully, we are going to do something great this week, like starting from this week. So let's see. So I'm going to make a directory. Sorry, I'm going to make a directory. I'm going to call it ravaged. Then I'll cd into that ravaged. Oh, cd into ravaged. Okay. So now the first thing I want to do, I want to write like everything. I want to put it inside a txt file. So I'll just nano. I'm going to call this progress.txt. So everything that we're going to do, I'm going to write it here. So like I'll start with the file, with the website or the URL name. So it's called ravage.com. That is what we want to look to. We want to look for. Then everything that I'm going to do, I'll write it here. So I'll just open up my browser. So we'll go into the ravaged. It's the ravagedban.com. So here I'm going to change this for ravagedband.com. So when you open up a website like this, the first thing to do is just to go through all the links available. Like for example, there's a home here. You just find if there's a search button or something. Let's see, there's also a biography here. This is the guys of this band, probably. There's a discography, whatever this is. You just check everything in, just check everything. So far, I can't see anywhere where we can insert something on the page. Let's see on this shop. We're just looking through the pages to see if we can find something. Even the contact page just has some words, so just some text. So we can't do anything there. So there are no there's no any place where we can insert something on the page. So the next thing after that is to look at the URL. But first we'll check the technologies in it. So we have like the Google font, the Apache server, W3 CSS, and it's using PHP version 8.0.30. So when you find something that has like the version number in it, the first thing you should check is to go maybe online and search for vulnerabilities associated with maybe let's say PHP version 8 or the jQuery version 3. But I won't show you that because I don't want this video to be too long. So here we have ravagedband.com index.php is squaring home.php. I think when you press home, That's what is being queried here. So this is a good sign. This means that it's taking this from somewhere. So the first thing to do, just take that off and maybe write something like test just to see what will happen. So if you put in test, you get an error. Warning, include test. So we are having here an include, meaning that it's querying something from the JavaScript. So it's failed to open the stream, yada yada yada. We have been given here a path. We won't look too much into that. But the most important thing is here we wrote test and test reflected here. So the first thing to do, we're going to try HTML injection. So let's see. So I'm going to write here h1 and also here h1. Going to close it. So if I run that, see here, this means that it's the HTML injection is possible. So that is the first bug. So I'll come back here. So this was the asset. Let's just call this asset. Then down here, I'm going to do the vulnerable endpoint. So I'm going to copy this from this equal sign all the way back. Then I'm going to put it in here. So this is the vulnerable endpoint and the vulnerabilities. One, we have the HTML injection. HTML injection. We've tried the H1. Just right here, H1. We can try other. We can try some other HTML injections to see if it works. So maybe like we can try here. We can try, let's say, try to change the font color. So we'll do font color equals to red and maybe close it. Let's see if this will work. Yes, it works. If you change even the font color here, maybe to something like green, it also works. So that means that almost every HTML injection will work. We can try to insert a link here. So for that, we'll try. It's still in HTML injection. So we'll try like we'll try an href, an a link. Sorry, a href equals to, let's do something like google.com, and maybe let's call this HTML, or just let's call it test, and we'll close that a tag. So we'll close that a tag. Then if we run it, so you see here, this test has an underlining, meaning that if you click this, if you look at the bottom here, if I hover over it, you get travelban.com stroke google.com. So if we open this link in a new tab, so we have been redirected to this main page, but still that means that the HTML injection is soaked. But this is we were trying to see if we can do like an open redirect here, but that didn't work. But we will see. I'll test for that later. So for now, the next thing that I want to show you, since we've done like the HTML injection, the next possible thing is just to try a script tag for the XSS. Let's see if XSS will work for this. So we do a script and a slash script. Then inside here, we'll do an alert. Let's do alert 1. And then let's run it. So as you can see, XSS works. So that is the second vulnerability we found here. So I'll write to XSS, and we did an alert. So an alert 1. And just for some heads up, mostly these days, if you try to use alerts, probably in the current sites it won't work. Since most people are most companies, they tend to pass or to sanitize alerts, so mostly it won't work. So if that doesn't work, you can try using prompt. So we'll instead of alert, we'll use prompt. You can just press OK on this. Okay. So if alert doesn't work, try using prompt. Let's see if prompt will work. And yes, prompt works. So you can use alert or you can use prompt. Or if that also doesn't work, you can test with print. Print doesn't really require um, something in here. So let's try to see if it will try to print the page. And yes, if print also works, that means that's an XSS. So that was the second vulnerability. So the next vulnerability that we are going to test, we're also going to test for, we can try to use XSS to get some open redirects. So let's try that. Let's try that. So let's try with an image first. So let's try to load an image, the source. Let's say the image source equals to xv. So on error, this isn't O. On error, let's equate it. Let's try to prompt again, or let's try to print. See if it will work. Oh, yes, it also works. Okay. So what I want to do is try to use this XSS to do an open redirect. So we'll load an image called xv. If the image is not found, there will be an error. Now when that error happens, we go to window dot location. I'm going to try to redirect it to google.com. So we're going to do google.com. So that also redirects us back into the relevant.com. That's not what I wanted. I wanted it to redirect me back, to redirect me all the way to google.com. So on that, I'll try using an SVG. So I'll just change this. Let me just Control Z here. So instead of an image, all of this, I'm going to use SVG. SVG only, and then equate it to 1. Then on load, we'll equate it to this window.location. I'm going to put this here, check this out, and put this here. So SVG on load, we're going to do window.location. So let's see if this will redirect us all the way to google.com. So still it hasn't redirected us. I don't know if I wrote that code wrong. So SVG only equals to 1 on load equals to window.location. Okay. So it's supposed to work. It's supposed to redirect me to google.com, but I don't know why it isn't. But as you can see here, something's happening. So you can still I think you can still call it an open redirect. So for the next vulnerability that we are going to try, we are going to try local file inclusion, or LFI as most people call it. All others call it directory traversal. All others call it, what's the other name? I've forgotten the other name, but it has like three names. So here we're going to try if we can see. We're going to try to see if Etsy stroke. Let's try with hosts first to see if it will come up. So yes, it does come up. So this is an easy site, so it does come up. But for some other, or for some bug bounty companies, most of them won't just come up as easy as this. I think you've seen most people doing like dot dot slash dot dot slash dot dot slash dot dot slash, and I think also this will work. So it didn't work. So for this one, just if you write the Etsy hosts, it works. So equals. Let's try to see if the shadow will come up. Sorry. So shadow also comes up. So for the next one, the most important one, let's see if the password will show up. And yes, it does show up. It does show up. So those are the vulnerabilities I wanted to show you today. I'll try to post as many videos as possible to get you started on the bug hunting. So if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. Also like this video. So and thank you. And my time is 11 p.m. So good night.